Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the beautiful Mont Bleu Casino Resort and Spa here in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. We have a big night of action coming your way, a World Championship twin bill brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions in association with Romanza, Mont Bleu, and Showtime. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this bout coming your way is sanctioned by the IBF, President Marion Muhammad, Supervisor Lindsey Tucker, the IBO President and Supervisor Ed Levine, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Introducing to you at this time are three judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Las Vegas, Nevada, Adelaide Bird. From Reno, Nevada, Bert Clements. And from Avon, Connecticut, Glenn Feldman. Introducing to you at this time our third man to the ring, the referee in charge, working in this his 28th world title bout, Tony Weeks. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF and IBO Bantamweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing leopard-trimmed trunks and hailing from Takani, Johannesburg, South Africa. He weighed in at 117 1/2 pounds with a record of 19 wins, 1 loss. He has 15 wins coming by way of knockout. In tonight's rematch, he is making his second attempt at a world title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the IBF number 3 ranked bantamweight contender, introducing Silence, the African Spice, Mabuza. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with gold trim, hailing from Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in at the bantamweight limit of 118 pounds with a record of 35 wins and 3 losses. He has 31 big wins coming by way of knockout. In his 3.5-year reign as champion, tonight he is making the 7th defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the defending IBF and IBO Bantamweight Champion of the World, introducing Rafael Marquez. Once again, a referee in charge, Tony Weeks, now to give instructions. 12 rounds of championship boxing schedule.
Venga. Okay, gentlemen, caballeros, you already received your instructions. Usted recibió instrucciones. Right here is good, entonces can be low. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Right here is good, entonces can be low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. I want a good, clean fight. Le quiero una pelea limpia. Obey my commands at all times, above all, protect yourself at all times. Escúchame, cuídate, listo, ready, let's go. Vámonos.
Marquez very confident he will have his way again. Mabuza with other ideas. Is this, in essence, round 5? Marquez sparkled in November. The more experienced champ can turn a fight with one punch. Terrific fight. We saw the right hand. We saw the compact left hook that dropped Mabuza. Mabuza's strength, the hand speed and quickness, but he made the mistake of being too much of a target in the first meeting. He can't stand in front of Marquez and mix it up. He's got to move around and show angles because Marquez just has extraordinary power in both hands for a bantamweight.
And the other problem for Mabuza is he just is a slow starter. Durant and the people in his camp say he just doesn't get off to quick starts, so he's got to buy time in these first couple rounds any way he can.
And yeah, Mabuza, he does have power, but not like Marquez, so he really shouldn't look to trade. Marquez started uncharacteristically fast in the original, very sharp and accurate. The feeling is, and this is to your point, Al, Marquez will start fast again. That's what the Mabuza camp feels, because the weight issue has been difficult for him for his last 3 fights, and that the notion is he doesn't want to go deep into the fight, which could be a big part of Mabuza's strategy to test Marquez's conditioning. Rafael Marquez with the red gloves isn't just a puncher, he's a precision combination puncher. Those slashing punches exacerbated Mabuza's cuts in the first fight.
You know, they were banking in Mabuza's camp and are that Marquez will be a little over anxious in some of his attacks. Has not been here in round one. He's been very measured.
Yeah, he's not starting quite as fast as he did in the first fight. And of course, late in the first round, he had Mabuza on the canvas with that beautiful jab followed by the left hook. And a really disoriented, silenced Mabuza. Nice right uppercut on the inside by Marquez.
You see the Marquez jab. One of the things that Nacho Beristain, who's just a wonderful trainer, has improved, and Marquez himself has improved by working so hard, is the jab. He's become much better with that punch, and it allows him to do things he couldn't do earlier in his career when he was just a big puncher.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Mabuza is still standing in front of Marquez, like he did in the first fight. All he needs really is just a little bit.
You're right. There's some lateral movement, but you see Marquez here in round one still finding the range with his punches, and he's showing us there's that strong jab from Marquez.
Stop. 20 seconds left in the round, and a breakthrough for Marquez. Marquez wailing away at Mabuza, and Mabuza in some trouble early, but he is punching back. Got their wake-up calls.
Hey, when you hurt you can't go and fight, my brother. You're in Slincher. Give me that water. Baba, box. In and out, use the ring. Don't stand with him. Okay.
Toward the end of that round, Marquez hurt him with a jab. We've just been talking about the jab, and that was so strong it hurt Mabuza. Now, Marquez went in with some abandon, and Mabuza doing a lot of just clutching there to hang on. But silenced Mabuza, landed a couple of good punches, including a really good left hook. That was a good short left hook, followed by the right. Mabuza has very good hand speed, and it was evident there as he punched in desperation.
Box with him, man. He's going to come out smoking again.
All of a sudden, a light went on, and both got into it towards the end of the first round. So things getting dramatic and exciting here early, just like in the first fight. Well, just when it looked like Mabuza was in dire straits, able to hold his own, he collected his thoughts, and then able to fire back and land effectively.
Now, the difference in that round than some of the rounds we saw in the previous fight was Marquez had a really varied attack. While he threw a lot of left hooks, there were uppercuts, straight rights, the jabs. It was a varied attack for him.
Yeah, he was just coming at Mabuza from every angle like an octopus. Here's a more straightforward attack, missing with the sweeping left hook there is Marquez. Mabuza now aiming for the belly.
Mabuza's main hope in this fight, there's that right left hook to the body by Marquez, is to really use his hand speed and combination punches. So far, we have not seen as much of that as he would like.
Approaching midway round two, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Bantamweight Championship. Rafael Marquez in the black. Wearing the leopard is Mabuza. Blood coming from Mabuza's nose. So the first sign of blood here in this fight.
Mabuza just can't resist languishing on the inside, and you can tell he wants to trade hooks with Marquez. Wow, very low.
South of the border, and Mabuza will have 5 minutes for Tony Weeks if he likes. is, if a fighter is hit below the belt and can't continue within 5 minutes, he loses.
Nick Durant yelling from the corner, silence, 5 minutes, telling him, take as long as you want. And it's the right way to do it.
So, Al, you got any good recipes?
We could be here for a little bit as he sits and relaxes with this.
Well, you mentioned Nick Durant reportedly under fire in his native South Africa. The feeling that if Mabuza loses, his reputation could plummet.
He just had a tough loss with Cassius Beloy, who lost his title in a fight he was not expected to lose. And Durant, of course, one of the best-known trainers in South Africa. Well, not that much time taken.
After 5 minutes, so he's not allowed to gather through the house.
Just when I was getting thinking of a recipe, too.
Hold it, we may need it. So round 2 continues. Mabuza, he just drops from level there. A left hand by Marquez. Here's Marquez going to work.
That jab set up that beautiful right hand.
And it was a jab that set up the left hook that put Mabuza down in the first fight. Very effective weapon for Marquez. There it is again. A shotgun type jab. Big right hand by Marquez. Marquez in command. Hand by Mabuza. It landed upstairs to Marquez's head.
Silence, I'm mixed with him. Move now. We'll use these rounds. Rinse ya, rinse ya. Rinse it, rinse it.
Left hook from Rafael Marquez strayed very low and created a big issue for, that was very low, landing kind of in the thigh area. Or more inside, and 40 seconds taken by Mabuza. Later on, that jab and set up the right hand, and there had been a couple of good jabs before that from Marquez. Thunderous jabs, not just rangefinders, but punches that really hurt Mabuza.
Hey, watch the ball.
As Marquez gets ready, Dr. Damon Zavala in the Mabuza corner, examining the damage there. So it's round 3. It has been a tough go so far for the challenger. Silence Mabuza getting a second crack at Marquez. Mabuza fought 4 months ago. Marquez, the last fight was back in November against Mabuza.
As Yogi Berra would say, it's deja vu all over again. Because we're seeing a very similar pattern to the last fight. The only difference is Mabuza hasn't been knocked down.
And it's a dilemma versus a guy like Marquez. If you move to your right to avoid Marquez's right hand, you're exposed to his left hook. If you move to your left to avoid his left hook, you're vulnerable to his right. So both are very effective. Do you want to repeat that for me? I have no idea what I just said.
I'm going to send you a memo on that one. The problem is that he's in trouble wherever he goes.
That's what I meant.
And the issue for Mabuza really is, Marquez is a long fighter. He gets that jab out there in the right hand. He can hit you at long range, and Marquez is very good on the inside as well. Now there's where Mabuza's starting to move his hands. He needs to throw a lot of punches and throw them quickly.
Tell you one thing about this kid, Mabuza, he is game.
Yeah, very much so.
Wow.
Now, if he can get Marquez to lunge after him, to really attack more, there he can land counter punches like that jab Mabuza just landed.
He's got to use that jab and that right more against Marquez. You may have already mentioned that, talking about Mabuza. There's a nice right cross by Marquez to the head. Mabuza offering back, but Marquez able to avoid a lot of those punches. That clipped Marquez at the top of the head.
You know what Mabuza's doing now? Those pressure and showing his hand speed.
Mabuza, bloody.
It's a fun round of boxing. See, there's the jab from Mabuza. When he throws combinations, he can get some work done in there. And remember, let's keep it tucked in our back of our head. Marquez is at trouble making the weight. He's moving up the next time out. They want to take this fight into the middle rounds. That may help them.
Mabuza has the ability to switch to southpaw, but it's not recommended against Marquez.
It's a close round.
Yeah. there's Mabuza bouncing around, showing lateral movement, which is to his advantage against Rafael. Marquez shooting that jab, and then a three-punch combination by Marquez. Mabuza missing with the left, digging into the body with the uppercut. And here's Mabuza applying pressure. Marquez on the ropes. Backed up.
Great body work by Mabuza. That could pay dividends later.
It was a terrific sequence by Mabuza. Good straight right hand to the chest by Mabuza. That was a much better round for the South African.
Agarra el hielo, sí. Poco de grasa, poco de grasa. Aquí está, agarra el hielo nada más para que no se caiga.
Keep fighting.
¿Cómo te sientes?
How are you feeling? Is it?
When Mabuza goes straight up the middle and throws combinations, he can get some things done against Marquez. And look, even though those first punches missed, he was able to get on the inside and land some good punches against Marquez. So Mabuza needs to throw more than one punch at a time.
Watching in the dressing room a very concerned brother, Juan Manuel Marquez, who is standing by for his fight later tonight. But he finds it very difficult to watch his brother fight. But he is doing it right there. Here we go, round 4. This is really developing into an interesting fight. Nacho Beristain talking to Marquez. Beristain with a great history of being able to transform straight-ahead brawlers into good technical fighters like he's done with Rafael Marquez.
You know, in the 7.5 rounds that these two men have fought, that last one by far the best for Silence Mabuza. Steve, you know, see, look at those hooks now. It's not a good idea for him to trade hooks with him, but when he throws them in combination, Mabuza can get away with it. And look at more movement from Silence Mabuza now, not standing right in front of Marquez. So a sudden shift in this fight. We'll see if it continues.
As we keep pointing out, Mabuza's team wants Silence to try to take this thing as deep as he can, at least into the middle rounds, to try to wear Marquez out, because Marquez has been having trouble making weight. There's a nice right hand by Marquez. The uppercut missed. Back comes Mabuza.
The hand speed of Mabuza is making a difference right now.
Hand during that flurry was the most effective by Mabuza. That one landed. Left uppercut raised. Missed with the right. Mabuza scoring more now. His connect percentage is getting higher. And there's a right hand over the top by Mabuza, followed by a left uppercut. Missing wildly with that looping left, and that could be dangerous.
And Mabuza's jab has become much more of a factor in this match in these last couple of rounds.
But Mabuza on the balls of his feet, really bouncing around. Marquez more flat-footed, as you can see. Mabuza, one thing about him out in excellent tip-top condition, and that's one thing that kept him going after that first round knockdown in the first fight. But you can see what superb shape he is in here.
And to speak to that, Marquez also has abandoned the body attack, which will allow Mabuza to stay pressure, continue this movement. That's a nice round for Silence Mabuza.
That's a great point, yeah. Things are starting to look a lot rosier for Mabuza here, suddenly, after a very difficult start. He still has blood all over his face from the nose, but it doesn't seem to be stopping him.
He's comboed by Marquez, but didn't have the kind of impact those punches were having earlier.
There's a jab, beautiful jab by Marquez. It stopped Mabuza in his tracks. He has to regroup, and then he comes forward once again. Missed with the left, missed with another left, and he grazed him with the right. Marquez looks out and says he didn't do anything to him. Hey, don't forget to catch this summer's hottest show, Brotherhood, Sundays at 10 p.m. If you missed any episodes, you can see it from the beginning with a special marathon, August 19th, starting at 8 p.m.
I can't wait for that. Revisit some episodes on Brother. It's a good series.
Very appropriate given tonight's theme.
Yeah, that's for sure. Silence Mabuza in round 4 showed us what can happen when you throw combinations and you're accurate with your punches. Getting Marquez against the ropes, not everything landing, but he landed a significant amount of punches during that last round, and that was, I said the 3rd was his best round, the 4th was his best so far.
I'll do that for you, boss. Gunza, stick to the plan, in and fucking out.
Durant, veteran trainer who's coached 58 South African champions, 15 world champions. He says Mabuza may be the best of all of his South African champions. He is a straight-talking, no-nonsense guy.
Now, Nick Durant suggested, you may have heard it, stick to the plan, he said to Mabuza. And that's important because the danger for Silence Mabuza is that he could get lured into a slugging match with Marquez because he's doing so well. He's still got to hit, move away, come back, flurry a little, and then get out.
Letting his fists fly. This is not the same Rafael Marquez we saw in the first fight.
Well, he was for all round and 3/4.
Now we look at press row. Tom Gardner from the Associated Press, Mike Hauser, the Nevada Appeal, Mario Serrano, Premier Round Magazine. So after 4 rounds, they've got it as a majority draw.
And I have the dead even so far in this fight.
It's that close.
Marquez digging that left hook downstairs, getting back to that body work a little more.
Marquez was more aggressive in the first fight. As you point, I think the word you used was measured early on. More measured in this fight so far. But he can be explosive, and he can turn a fight with one punch. We know that about him for sure.
Yeah, that's the caution that we want to give to everybody, because there's no question Marquez can hurt you with a punch and absolutely change things.
Good news is I don't think the heat is a big factor here right now. It was stifling about an hour ago, but it has cooled off just a bit, low 70s, and it's fairly comfortable.
Steve, do you get the same feeling I do that Marquez is almost being economical because you feel like maybe he's not sure he can throw a lot of punches every round and still be effective in later rounds? You know, it feels that way.
And that's where the difference lies as opposed to the first one. To the forehand by Mabuza, and that got Marquez's attention. Again on the defensive as Mabuza swings for the fences.
And those are good, solid right hands Mabuza's early. Look at the movement of Silence Mabuza.
This is all Mabuza now, very confident. Marquez with the jab and then firing the right. Bouncing around. Mabuza coming out of the darkness of the first round and performing valiantly here. Marquez trapped in the corner. And he stares Mabuza down. Mabuza smiles as it goes to the corner. Our translator, Felix De Jesus.
You gotta throw the jab. You gotta throw the jab.
Agua.
Water.
No, ¿cómo te sientes?
How are you feeling? I'm feeling tired.
No, ahorita me hace.
You feeling good?
Digo, hay que levantar las manos, hay que tirar ese
You
jab.
gotta keep your hands up. You gotta keep your hands up.
One exchange at the end of the round, and one that, while Marquez landed some punches, that was a great uppercut on the inside, but it didn't deter Mabuza. And Mabuza was able to wail away and land a very good right hand right at the end of this sequence. There's the right that pushed Marquez back. The hand speed of Mabuza really is the headline in this fight. It was starting to be just a little toward the end of their first fight.
Well, at his best, Mabuza is the complete package, and we're starting to see that here. Lightning fast hand speed, as Al points out, throughout. Those fast combinations to the body. He's got heart, a good chin. And he's got power. He doesn't have the kind of power that Marquez has, but he does have decent power. He just made the questionable decisions in the first fight. I think this thing is a combination of Mabuza fighting a smarter fight as opposed to the first fight, and Marquez just not being the same kind of Marquez we saw in the first fight.
I agree. It's equal parts, both those things, and what it's all adding up to is, for Silence Mabuza, a pretty good effort right now. Now for Marquez, what does he need to do to get back into winning these rounds? Use the jab. It was a very effective weapon. He was hurting him with it, and get back to throwing the hook. He's not throwing that punch. It was tremendously effective in the first fight, and he's not throwing it enough in this match.
By the way, if it's not obvious enough that we are outdoors, that noise you may be hearing in the background is the wind whipping around and affecting our microphone. The wind from the west at 16 miles per hour.
Delightfully,
it really is what's turned into it.
Great setting out here.
And a good crowd on hand. A little over 3,000. And an arena that seats close to 4. And it is just an incredible setting.
Whenever Mabuza throws more than one punch at a time, it freezes Marquez. There's a low blow by Mabuza.
And now Marquez will have 5 minutes to recover. So
Here we go. Time in.
Well, he only needed about 5 seconds. It wasn't as drastic as the one that was offered up earlier against Mabuza.
Mabuza is a personal trainer. He teaches boxercise, and you know some of his clients are looking at this rooting on.
Oh, yeah.
There's a left uppercut by Marquez. He's landed that punch a lot, but has been countered with the right hand by Mabuza over it, so he has to be careful about using that too much. There it is again by Marquez, and he missed it. He's enamored with that punch, and that's a dangerous punch right now.
Marquez going to the body there. Mabuza still on the move. Marquez more stationary. Oh, nice left hand there by Marquez.
That was Marquez countering, and he's not by nature a counter puncher.
Well, that's more like his brother.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. Manuel, a great counter puncher. But Mabuza has some rock of a chip.
Wow, the difference is Mabuza backed him up after he got hit with those big shots.
And I think that has to be playing a little trick on the mind of Marquez. With a straight right hand. Great give and take.
But please, with respect, I've got to get into the ring. The cameraman can't take over my job, please. Cameraman? Went out here. The fight is the most important thing here.
You saying the cameraman?
Yeah, he's in my way, man.
It's beautiful, Simon. It's beautiful.
Here is where the left hand strayed low for Mabuza. And Marquez took only a short time to recover. This was a terrific exchange toward the end of the round. Those left uppercuts by Marquez, very effective, but you see Mabuza coming back and landing that short chopping left to the chin of Marquez. And at the end of the round, another good exchange by both men. The difference is when Marquez backs him up this time around, Mabuza comes back with his own shots and his own good combinations. What a great fight this is turning into.
Terrific sustained two-way action. And now we can hear how intense things are getting in the corner with Dick Durant, who was barking out instructions to the marshal in the corner about the cameraman. He's just trying to do his job there with Mabuza, and it's getting very hot. And I don't mean temperature.
Yeah, Durant, but we're concerned about being crowded in the corner. Nice right hand by Rafael Marquez. And we're heading into that part of the fight. You know, we're at the halfway mark of it, where we have to start paying attention to how these fighters are doing in terms of stamina. And also, and I've got the fight even, by the way, dead even. But we have to look at Marquez and say, okay, we know it's hard to make the weight. We know the next fight he's moving up in weight. Are the Mabuza people right that the longer this fight goes, the more to help their man?
This was the game plan going in. As you check out press row, it's still a majority draw. Tom Gardner from the AP, Mike Hauser, Nevada Appeal, Mario Serrano from Cumia Round Magazine.
And my score, as I suggested, 57-57. I have it a draw. The Mabuza jab has been much improved in this fight, and that's a big part of the reason he can get off some of those combinations.
Remember, this is a rematch of a fight that ended in the 4th round last November. Mabuza having the fight end on cuts. It was ruled a TKO. Mabuza's first loss. So here he is again, 9 months later, looking for revenge, and he is that right hand. Looking to change the course of the fight is Marquez.
And in terms of motivation, Mabuza feels, they feel very much that that cut was caused by a clash of heads, inappropriate stoppage, and as you said, he turned down a shot at the WBA title just to get back to this fight. So this is a motivated fighter. He wants to beat Rafael Marquez very badly. He's showing how badly so far in this fight. But this has been a good round for Marquez.
Mabuza passed up the title fight, passed up a lot of money, took the circuitous route to get back here to fight Marquez again. That's how much of an insatiable appetite he had to get this fight again. And he's not letting people out.
Now in this round, though Mabuza's moving a lot, he has not landed a lot of punches. And this is a round he might be giving away to Rafael Marquez and could regret that round.
I'll tell you what, Marquez is just missing with that right hand. It's just crazy. And that's a testament to Mabuza's defense.
A couple of good lead right hands by Mabuza there. Is that enough to get this round back for him? I don't think so.
Nice exchange there. Well, the weather is now 75 degrees, your temperature. It's just gone up a couple of degrees. The wind from the west at 16 miles per hour. But in the forecast, possible isolated thunderstorms.
Give me some water. You gotta throw, you gotta throw. You're throwing, but you can't leave him down. After the combination, immediately, your jab.
Give him water to drink. Ready? How are you feeling? Good.
Keep on jabbing, come through with uppercut left hook. Side, uppercut left hook, side, okay?
Give him the mouth, please. Come, champ, come.
So an appreciative crowd of 3,200 on hand as we enter into round 8, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Bantamweight Championship here in beautiful Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
You know, it's important to have a focused corner. Nick Durant has provided that for Mabuza. Not getting overly excited about the power and reminding him again there, the side-to-side movement's important, and then suggesting an uppercut and a hook. Those dangerous punches from the throw, but he's getting away with them.
And as we mentioned earlier, Durant a little bit under pressure from the South African press for the Cassius Beloy fight. They felt that he didn't offer the right technical instructions between rounds to Beloy, who won the title and 2 months later lost to a nondescript guy. And so they're really a little bit down on Durant. So if he can pull this one out, so there's a lot of emotion going on here with Mabuza and Durant. Mabuza wants this, and Durant really wants it too for other reasons outside of just winning the championship, just to get his respect back from everybody.
Mabuza is off to a very good start here in round 8 after Marquez, I thought, had a good round 7. It's the combination.
Mabuza wasn't out of range, but it doesn't stop him.
For the first time, Mabuza switched to the left-handed stance, which he didn't do at all in his fight with Ricardo Vargas in the IBF Eliminator, but he is doing it here now.
And remember what Marquez said, if Mabuza switches to lefty, he's going to knock him out. Now he's back to right hand. Now there is blood from under the left eye around the cheek of Mabuza. So here we go again, but it's not in a dangerous spot. It's under the eye. The cut in question, the first fight, was over the right eye, which was very deep. And that's pretty much why they stopped it in the 4th round.
And in fact, against Ricardo Vargas in his last fight, there was a cut over the right eye for Mabuza. So these continue to be an issue for him.
Well, this one is under the left eye, right on the cheekbone. So the blood's not getting into the eye, unless, of course, a Marquez punch rubs it up into the eye.
You know, here's where the skill level of Rafael Marquez, which is much better than it was in the early days, stands him in good stead. He's in a fight that really not going to knock out, but you know what? He's using every tool available to him to box very expertly, and especially in this round. He's having a great round against Mabuza.
And Mabuza, as you can see, being a little more cautious here, understandably. Final seconds of round 8, and the tide is beginning to turn a little here for Marquez. There's a combination. Just before the bang. A little stamp by Rafael.
Stop.
No comment.
Huh?
In ready. Okay.